I am Thomas, and today I am in Cranberry, New Jersey, in the Brainerd Cemetery, paying respects to an individual, to a grave that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. One of the many heroes on a tragic day on 9/11. The man I'm visiting, and what he did, along with many others that day, one word that comes to mind: courage, selflessness. Can't imagine what he and countless many others were going through. And we are walking to section F2, lot 389. The cemetery is not that big, so it should be easy to find. The grave of Todd Beamer. Phrase that he was known for that day on September 11th is "Let's roll." Todd was born in 1968 in Flint, Michigan. At the time of his death, he was 32. Here you see a picture of Todd. He was married. He had two children with a third on the way, I believe. Todd was a high school athlete in baseball, basketball, and soccer. He attended Fresno State University and Wheaton College. He had earned a master's degree in business administration from DePaul University. In 1994, he moved to Princeton, and he began his career as an account manager with the Oracle Corporation. Here is the grave of Todd Beamer, hero, amongst many other descriptions. Todd and his wife, they married in 1994, and they were active in their church and taught Sunday school class. By the year 2000, they moved to Cranberry, New Jersey, which is just outside of Newark, not too far away from New York City at all. So Todd, being very good at his job and what he did, he was promoted to account manager with Oracle, which they were selling system applications and database that software, and he was a field marketing representative. Now, Todd's job required him to travel up to 4 times a month, sometimes as long as a week. So in 2001, he earned a 5-day trip to Italy with his wife for being a top sales performer. Now, they returned home on Monday, September 11th at 5 p.m. Although Todd could have left that night for a Tuesday business morning trip in California, he opted instead to spend time with his wife, who was due with their third child the following January. He left home at 6:15 the next morning. And he left 6:15 that morning, because he wanted to take a flight from Newark to San Francisco to meet with representatives of the Sony Corporation at 1 p.m., and he was planning to return on a red-eye flight that night. Now, Flight 93 was scheduled to depart at 8 a.m., but it did not depart until 42 minutes later due to some runway traffic delays. 4 minutes later, American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into the World Trade Center. At 9:03 a.m., 17 minutes later, United Flight 175 crashed into the South Tower. Flight 93 was climbing to cruising altitude, heading west over New Jersey and into Pennsylvania. At 9:25 a.m., Flight 93 was above eastern Ohio, and its pilot radioed Cleveland controllers to inquire about an alert that had been flashed on his cockpit screen to beware of cockpit intrusion. 3 minutes later, Cleveland controllers could hear the screams over the cockpit's open microphone. Moments later, the hijackers took over the plane's controls, disengaged the autopilot, and told passengers keep remaining, sitting, that they have a bomb on board. Todd Beamer and the other passengers, they herded into the back of the plane. Within 6 minutes, the plane had changed course and was heading to Washington, D.C. Several of the passengers made phone calls to loved ones who informed them about the two planes that had crashed into the World Trade Center and the third in the Pentagon. Beamer tried to place a credit card call through a phone located on the back of a plane seat, but was routed to a customer service representative who had then passed him on to a air. Again, the phone call was passed to Lisa Jefferson, who was a airphone supervisor. The FBI agents were listening in on the call, and Todd informed Jefferson that the hijackers had taken over Flight 93 and that one passenger had been killed. He also stated that two of the hijackers had knives and that one appeared to have a bomb strapped around his waist. When the hijackers veered the plane sharply south, Beamer explained that they were going down. Following this, the passengers and flight crew, they had decided to act. According to accounts of cell phone conversations, Beamer, along with other passengers, had formed a plan to take the plane back from the hijackers. Tom Burnett, Jeremy Glick, Mark Bingham. Those were the other passengers. And they, again, wanted to make a plan to take over the plane from the hijackers. They were joined by other passengers. Passengers such as Linda Grunland, Alan Beeman, William Cashman, Lou Nackey, along with flight attendants Sandra Bradshaw, Cece Lyles, in discussing their options and voting on a course of action. And they ultimately decided to storm the cockpit and take over the plane. Now, Beamer on the phone with Jefferson, he told him that the group was planning to jump on the hijackers and fly the plane into the ground before the hijackers' plan could be followed through. Beamer recited the Lord's Prayer in the 23rd Psalm with Jefferson, prompting others to join in. Now, Todd Beamer, he requested Jefferson, who was on the line with him, "If I don't make it, please call my family and let them know how much I love them." After this, Jefferson heard muffled voices and Beamer clearly answering, "Are you ready? Okay. Let's roll." Those were the last words spoken by Beamer that was heard by Lisa Jefferson. Now, after the plane's voice data recorder was recovered, it revealed a pounding and crashing sounds against the cockpit door and shouts and screams in English. "Let's get 'em." A passenger cries, a hijacker shouts. Now, apparently what happened was the plane had been crashed upside down at about 563 miles, Shanksville, Pennsylvania. It was around 20 minutes of flying time away from the White House.
You ready?
Okay.
Let's roll.